everyone, my name is Dominique Green. I'm the maker of Soap Up Soaps and today is my birthday. My husband got me cool presents. He got me soap coloring. This here, you see the different colors that I get here. And it's 18 different colors. And he also got me those silicone molds. They are single bar molds. Funny coincidence, and it is a coincidence, I have 18 molds and I have 18 colors. So I thought I want to make one bar for one color. I will use transparent melt and pour soap, and for scent I use essential oils, grapefruit oil. It is a little bit yellow when you color it, but because the lightest color is yellow, I don't think it will interfere too much with the color. So I do one color per bar. That's the plan for this video. One bar holds about 100 grams. I tried that out before, I measured it. I have 18, so I need 1.8 kilos of soap. And I forgot to mention, I will also use China oil for the darker colors when I go to the greenish and blue. And for the lighter colors, the yellow and reddish and orange, I will use the grapefruit essential oil. Alright. This block and this little piece here weighs 1,820 grams. So theoretically, it should be enough for my 18 molds. I cut all of the soap in small pieces or smaller pieces in cubes. I will heat them in portions. I won't heat everything at once. And I heat this up in the microwave now. You put it in 30-second bursts. That shouldn't burn it, and you do that until it's all completely melted. And in between you can stir it with a tool so it heats up and melts more evenly. There are a few balls left, but that's alright. They melt when you stir, so by stirring. For this, you don't need a thermometer because you don't mix colors. You should still not boil the soap at any point. But because you're not doing any layers, because it's all one color, you don't need a thermometer really to measure anything. So you just go by, if it's liquid, then you can pour. What you need as well is alcohol, rubbing alcohol. The rubbing alcohol makes bubbles disappear. You also use the alcohol at the start before you pour in the mold. Alright, I start with the grapefruit essential oil. You can pour it straight in the soap base. Alright. And what I'm trying to do, I've never done that before, I don't know if it works, but I tried on the first one. I put alcohol in the mold and put the color, and I start with yellow, I start with the lightest color. I put one drop in the bar. And then I put the liquid soap, the transparent soap on top. Alright, this is one drop. And I pour the soap on top. Alright. Maybe I have to stir it a little bit. Alright, I think that worked out pretty good, so I tried it again. Put a bit more alcohol in here. And then I use the next color, orange. I don't go in with the fork in this one, I leave it like that. Maybe it makes a bit of a marble effect. So I go to the next one. This is Sunset Orange. And add the soap. That's interesting how it doesn't mix up at all for some reason. Right, off to the next. And the color is called Orange Red. One drop. And the soap on top. That's pretty cool. Now I'm gonna try, there is already so much alcohol in it, I don't spray more. The next color is called Sunset Red. They are really creative around the red section. I drip one drop in. And then I spray alcohol on top. Alright, that doesn't change anything. So I just pour the soap on top. Alright, I want to go in there a little bit. Alright, they ran out of ideas here. They just called this Simply Red. Simply Red, there was a band like that once, I think. I don't know one song. So the alcohol in. One drop, oops, these were two. Let's see what happens when you put 2 drops. This one looks a little bit like blood. Alright, let's see what happens. Alcohol on top, and we go off to the next one. Alright, next mode. Spray the alcohol, and the next color I'm using is called Purple Red. That looks cool. And now try, and I don't know if that does anything, but I tried. That's interesting. The color ball stays just the same when you trip it in, so it doesn't mix. Interesting. Now we'll see what comes up. next one. We have Grape Purple. Oopsie. That's also interesting. Next color, brick red. Brick red. I'm gonna add the color, the rest of the soap that I have to heat up more. Mix this here a little bit. And then add the rest on top. I just add enough to fill it up. Alright, the next color is pink. Alcohol. And the soap on top. Well, that worked cool. That somehow turned out completely different than the other ones. I don't know why. Alright, next color, Grape Purple. The alcohol first. And soap on top. And that's really cool that ended up to be the end of the soap and the last color of what I want to scent with the essential oil Grapefruit. So now we're going to the next colors. I have 7 left. And these will be scented with China oil. Right. Alright, the first color of China oil scented soap is colored in yellow green. I put a drop in. Oops, that's what 2. And I add the soap base that has the oil, the essential oil in it, on top. And that looks amazing. Alright. Completely different here is that the oil, the essential oil, this one here, the China oil, doesn't have any color by itself compared to the grapefruit oil that is yellow by itself. It doesn't color the soap, and that in that case is good because I think it gives you a clearer idea of what the color, the soap coloring of what the real color is that you get out. Right, and now on the last mold I start with green. 1 drop. Whoopala, I did not see that. I didn't see it was so clear. Oops. Alright. And on the next one, I'm using blue-green. They look pretty cool. I'm gonna zoom it in. Alright. Next color is dark green. And the next one is simply blue. Blue. Dark blue. I do 2 drops here. Be experimental. And because I spilled a lot at the start here, now for the last mold I wouldn't have enough left, so I just spray the Love Heart mold and pour it in here. And I can use that at a different time or give it away. The last color would have been brown, but I don't have any soap left, so I have 17 bars of different color soap. These here I think look especially funky. This is really good. I let them sit now for a few hours until they're completely solid, and then we just unmold them and see what we got. Alright, hi. These here are solid now. I let them sit overnight. And now we unmold them. This was the first one, so I'll start with this one. And I will put some white paper here because they're transparent so that we don't get the gray from the background. Alright. Interesting. Alright, I put down the first 3. They more or less almost look the same. You see a difference in grade of from yellow to red. If you would have stirred the soap, this coloring in properly, then and then it would have, of course, colored the whole bar, but because I put the drop at the bottom and poured the hot soap on top, it made this kind of effect. The yellow is cool. It looks really like lemon. This one is cool too. This one is cool too. The other three, to me they look the same. And that is mostly probably because the scent, the essential oil, the grapefruit essential oil, colored the base already yellow. So this is not a complete success, but it's not a fail at all. For now I'll put them back in the mold, and then when all of the 17 are unmolded, I put them next to each other. Alright, next one is this here. Yeah, the same here. I should have mixed in the color in the soap, and then it would be a fully colored bar. But because I never tried this technique, I wanted to try that once, and now I know that it doesn't work if you use a essential oil or any fragrance oil that already has a color. If you use transparent, because it will color, it won't stay, it's still transparent, but it's not no color. Alright, next one is this one. It's interesting. And then I think this one here was just red. I think they called that color just red. Alright, that's good too. And then I remember this here was pink, and it is pink. This is pretty dark. These and the first 6 you saw are scented with grapefruit oil. And then this one here was the first one that I scented with China oil. The China oil did not color the soap base, so this is really just the soap color by itself. This here was yellow-green, I remember. It looks cool. The pink is cool too. These here, nah, well, we'll see. Alright, I put them back. And the last 5. Interesting. Also interesting. And the last one looks pretty cool. Alright, so the blue colors and the green colors with the China oil worked much better, much better. Some of the yellow ones are alright. I like this. I like the design when it's not completely mixed in. It makes some kind of cool effect. This here I like especially. This here is very good. This here is good too. All of these are good. Alright, all of the soaps you see here now, these are all scented with the grapefruit oil. They smell amazing. The scent is really good. Just, I would say these 3 for sure. What I will do, because I don't like them, what I will do is I cut this in cubes. Just this, I don't mix it up. And I will melt it down again, stir it. Because the color is in and the amount that holds in 1 bar is there. So if I go cut that again in cubes, heat it up, stir it, the coloring will mix in completely with the soap base, and then I pour it again in the loaf, in the mold. I will do that with this one here. With this one here, all of the purple colors somehow, they look almost a bit moldy. Yet I don't like it. The pink is good. I think this one here is it's interesting. I would leave this one. I would even leave all of these here. Because with the, so you get a almost transparent bar. And also when it's wet, it goes even more transparent. So in the dry condition, they are still see-through, and transparent. But when they get wet, you see even better through them. Then it's like glass. I would like to show you one against the light. So I have my daylight lamp here, and if you hold the bar against the light, you see that it looks like glass. I mean, it is cool. Use the yellow one, the very first one. You see a few air bubbles in there too. That should not have happened. That is probably from the stirring. I remember I went in with the fork and stirred it in the loaf. And this is when probably those air bubbles here went in. That would make a lot of sense. Alright. So now I was funny and I put them all up in a tower, and I think that looks funny too. That looks cool. And then here you see the other 6. These are the China oil scented soaps. These colors look cool. They look like ocean bars, ocean color. I hold them against the light again. Alright. That's better. Try it again. This color here, it seems that it's too transparent and it can't focus because it doesn't see it. It can't focus on the soap because it doesn't even see it. Let's try it with this color here. Same story. So what you see through the soap, through the lens, the only thing you see is where the coloring stayed. Interesting. I like the lime. This one here looks like lime. That was the yellow green. Again, it has a lot of soap, of air bubbles in it, and I would like my camera to focus. Alright, and here you see the China oil tower. I put the other tower next to it. Looks cool. It is a rainbowish. Nice. Alright, so there are only 3 colors that I have to cut in cubes and heat up again, and I melted, put it back in the mold, and I'm sure it turns out much better than now. It just doesn't, it looks, it almost looks dirty. So it looks the opposite of what it is because it's soap. Now I'm doing the 3 bars that didn't work with the color. I cut them in cubes and then melt them down, stir it, and then hopefully the color that I used, the drop, will melt with the soap, and then we get one proper color. I put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, 2 times 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then it will be melted. Alright, this here is melted. That's the first color. It looks, well, not too bright, but that's how it was, so I don't add any more. I spray in the mold and pour the soap on top. And theoretically it should fill it up completely, and that's what it did. Spray on top. Well, alright. And I do the same with the next one. I already cut it up. Put it in. Heat it up. Here's the next color. This looks very dark. It looks like blue purple. Alright, spray next to it and pour it in. Now I'm cutting the last one. And the last color is heated up too. I spray a bit alcohol in, maybe to get rid of a few bubbles. And use this one. Pour it all in. Perfect. Alright, these here now are solid as well. These are the last three colors. I unmold them now. Alright, and they turned out much better. This color here is especially cool. It's very dark. The other two are good as well. I guess that's how it would go. It turned out much better when you stir it in, the color, and then you get a even, like a proper even bar. I will also try that with the other colors at some point. I normally add these or some other cute shape as thank you gifts. So if you buy something in my Etsy shop, you will always get love. Alright. So here you see my tower of soap. I would say this was a 92% success. I have never made soap bars in a single mold. I only have my big one and then I cut it. Obviously here you don't have to cut, so you save a lot of time. And they're all the same size if you fill it up to the top. They are cool. I'm happy. I'm happy with the colors as well. The purple did all of the funny thing is that all of the purple colors did this, and that's weird because none of the other colors. The green did it a little bit, that it stayed. It didn't mix in with the soap. I mean by itself. For all of the other colors mixed in with the soap. I don't know what had happened, but it happened. All of these soaps here, minus the two love hearts, you can't buy them, but you can get them for free. All of these soaps here that you can see, the two towers, again this tower here is Grapefruit and this tower here is China oil. If you want them, you can get them. You can find it on Etsy. I leave all of the information you need at the end of the video in the description below, and you can send an email if you have any questions, any suggestions or any other things you would want to discuss with me. If it's soap related, feel free to send a message, and I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye bye.